If Florian Wirtz wins the treble with Bayer Leverkusen, should he win the Ballon d'Or as well? So a lot of people are saying right now that Wirtz winning the treble with Bayer Leverkusen should put him up there with winning the Ballon d'Or along Jude, along Vini. I still don't think he's up there, guys. Don't get me wrong. Wirtz has had a great season. He's an amazing player, but I just don't think that winning the Europa League is the same as winning the Champions League. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to go over Wirtz's stats for the season first before we do anything. So far, Wirtz for this season, 47 appearances, 18 goals, 20 assists. Not bad at all. So pretty much 38 assists and goals put together. If we compare these stats to Vini, to Jude, more to Jude. Jude is more of a midfielder, but I think right now the real Ballon d'Or race is Vini Jr. and Jude. The top candidate for the Ballon d'Or is Vini Jr. So I'm gonna say Vini Jr. and Wirtz. We're gonna compare them. Now, if we look at Vini Jr.'s stats for this season, right? So we have 37 appearances, 23 goals, 11 assists. Yes, Wirtz appeared in pretty much 10 more games than Vini throughout the season, but either way, I mean, we're not gonna downplay anybody's stats. Everyone had a good season this season. The main question in mind right now is if Florian Wirtz wins the treble, which it is very possible that is gonna happen. They're facing Atalanta in the Europa League final, and then Madrid is facing Dortmund. So I don't want to say they got it in the bag, but they are favorites for that game. So going back to the question, should he win the Ballon d'Or if he wins the treble? I think, honestly, it kind of sounds bad, right? It kind of sounds bad if I say if they win the Europa League, it's not the greatest achievement than winning the Champions League. Because, yes, for a team like Bayer Leverkusen, a lot of times, I mean, they were apparently called before this season Neverkusen, Bayer Neverkusen, because they never won anything. But now they completely threw that out the window. They're about to win 3 trophies this season. So, but the difference, in my opinion, is when you're going up against teams like Qarabağ in the knockouts, West Ham, which West Ham, obviously a great Premier League team, but they're in the Europa League. They're not in the top 4. And then you got Roma in the semifinal, which, again, I'm not saying Roma is the worst team out there, but it's not the same as the top teams. And then you're facing Atalanta in the Champions League final, or the Europa League final. So it is a little different when you're going up against these teams, because if you put Madrid in this category, I think it's safe to say they're going to make it to the final too. But when you go over in the Champions League and you see Madrid's way to the final, I mean, they had to go against RB Leipzig, they had to go against Man City, they had to go against Bayern, and now they're playing Dortmund. Pretty much, all I'm saying is, if we reverse the roles with Bayer Leverkusen and we put them in that bracket in the Champions League, realistically, do we see them getting out of that Champions League into the final? Honestly, I'm gonna say no. Even though they've had a great season and right now they're playing probably the best football out of anybody, I still think that they wouldn't be able to make it to the final. Being in the Champions League, you need experience, and if you don't have experience in that high level pressure, it definitely can get to you. Yes, winning the Europa League is a great achievement for Bayer Leverkusen, especially, right? The main purpose of the Ballon d'Or, and this could be controversial because a lot of times it has gone to not the best player of the season, aka last year. Debatable, should it have gone to Messi, should have gone to Holland, because he won the treble last year as well, and he was top scorer in the Premier League, but we still gave it to Messi. So I mean, the trophy itself is almost questionable right now, because I feel a lot of times people say it doesn't go to the right player. It's all about stats. It's all about what competitions you've won, individual performances. I think that winning the Champions League, it definitely gives you a lot more credibility, should I say, into that Ballon d'Or race and winning the Europa League. So I think for that reason, yes, Florian Wirtz has done amazing this season. Florian Wirtz is doing great. I wouldn't be surprised if he's at Leverkusen next season and then he dips after that with Xabi Alonso as well to Madrid. Apparently that's a thing that they're trying to do, bring them over together. But that's for another video. I mean, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Should he win the Ballon d'Or if he wins the treble? I mean, right now it looks like Vini Jr. is leading the race, 33%. I think Jude, I saw him somewhere in like the 17-18%. So it really just depends. I think honestly, if Vini Jr. wins the Champions League and he performs good in the Champions League as well, I think it's pretty much in the bag. Now, this can change, definitely can change if Madrid, knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx that. Of course, I'm a Madridista. I want him to win the final. But if Madrid loses the final and Vini Jr. does not have a good performance, this definitely shakes up that list, because now if Wirtz does win the treble, he moves up the list. Now, the Euros are coming up. Germany is a big dog this season because, especially Toni Kroos joining the team. big dogs this season in the Euros. If Wirtz performs well in the Euros, now we're talking. Now we're talking, guys. Now we're talking. But this is a lot of ifs, though. If this, if that, if this, if that. If honestly, the way the script is going right now, if Madrid wins it, Vini Jr. performs, I think Vini got it in the bag. But if he doesn't, now we get into an interesting conversation, because now we have a lot of Ballon d'Or candidates. We have Jude performing in the Euros. We have Wirtz with Germany in the Euros. We have, of course, Vini Jr. still has the Copa America for Brazil. Mbappe in the Euros with France. Harry Kane is even up there as well with England. So if that happens, this is just, it goes out of the water. Anything is possible at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see, guys. But honestly, like I said, if Vini Jr. wins the Champions League with Madrid and he performs pretty well, I think it's just literally a race between Vini Jr. and Jude. I think maybe they will see how they perform in the Copa America and the Euros, but I think Vini will have it in the bag either way. Nevertheless, it's going to be an interesting year for football in general, man. We have so much coming up. Even though the season for the domestic leagues and Champions League and all that is done, I think we still have a lot to look forward to before the next season comes up for next year, which is amazing, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Appreciate you guys if you made it to the end of the video. I'm going to bring out a lot more videos like this, just kind of rambling, talking about football stuff in the world. So drop a like, drop a sub if you guys like these kinds of videos. Until next time, catch you guys in the next one. Push.